Well, it's a beautiful night here in upstate New York, and it's a perfect evening for soccer tonight. It is the Rochester Rhinos and FC Cincinnati in a USL matchup. Mike Pepper alongside Winston Dubose. And Winston, when we look at these teams, they've both had quite a bit of success statistically win-loss-wise early on.
Yeah, you're right, but Rochester's played only 7 games versus the league-leading Charleston Battery with 11. With a win today, they're going to be firmly in the top half of Eastern Division.
And a look at the key players to watch. First for FC Cincinnati and Danny Koenig.
Yep, they've recently acquired him about a month and a half ago. He scored 3 goals in 3 USL games.
And for Rochester, Wall Fall is the guy that they will be looking at. He scored the game winner last time out in USL action against the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Solid midfielder, established himself last year, playing 23 games. He's actually the cousin of Jermaine Jones, the U.S. men's national team player, and he scored 3 goals so far this season.
Let's get a good look here at the starting lineups as well. First for FC Cincinnati, and those who are seeing it, Alan Koch has made a few changes, and Dallas J is one of those in goal, along with Garrett Halfhill along the back line. He'll be joined by Tyler Pollock, Paul Nicholson, and Pat McMahon in the midfield, Fordyce, Walker, and Dominguez, and up front, Wiedemann and Mansoure join Koenig up top. For the Rochester Rhinos, in goal, Gomez will get the start as usual. James, Farrell, Felix, and Dover will man the back line. Wallfall will be beside Canardo Forbes, who is wearing the captain's armband. And it's DeFregger, Beresford, and Bukemia also in the midfield, right behind Johan Graf. Well, fans are getting ready. We are getting ready. As you can see, they're making their way to the seats. And the Oak Street Brigade is starting as they get ready here in Rochester as well. We have the kickoff coming up next. It's Rochester and FC Cincinnati.
Welcome to the next generation at Ralph Honda.
A beautiful new showroom, a new state-of-the-art service department, and the same great service we're famous for.
We invite you to come in and visit our new next generation dealership. Come on, treat yourself to Ralph.
There's another reason I'm here.
We're gonna add one last station.
This is my comeback. It's not the story I had planned. But what's a game without opponents? What's an obstacle course without obstacles? What's life if you don't have stuff to overcome? Comebacks make you stronger. They make you tougher. They leave you with cool scars and awesome stories. Your injuries make you. Your setbacks define you. A broken bone is stronger than ever once it mends. So I may be down, but I'm not out. I may be hurt, but I'm not through. I'm just writing a better story than I planned.
Share your comeback story. Visit yourmedicine.org.
Welcome to the next generation at Ralph Honda.
A beautiful new showroom, a new state-of-the-art service department, and the same great service we're famous for.
We invite you to come in and visit our new next generation dealership. Come on, treat yourself to Ralph.
And welcome back to Rochester as Rex getting the fans ready to go tonight. Here again, a beautiful evening here in upstate New York. Temperature in the upper 60s. And as the sun goes down tonight, it'll drop only into the mid-60s. Fans also, the musical instruments is the center official getting ready to get us started tonight and underway in a matchup that should provide a lot of excitement here with some new players for Cincinnati as they make their way up. Rochester be wearing green from head to toe. Cincinnati with the orange and blue trim, and they're all whites as we are seconds away from getting started here in Rochester. Mike Pepper and Winston Dubose we'll be giving you the action here tonight as we get started. Whistle's underway, and so are we here on this Saturday evening. Cincinnati under pressure early on. It's going to go all the way back to their goalkeeper. And again, Dallas J getting the start tonight as Rochester will pinch in a little bit. Long ball headed back and sent in. There's Forbes with the captain's armband. Pressure back, and it'll be the first touch for Gomez for Rochester. Turned over in their own third, but recovered as Fall will play it out. Early on, teams getting a feel for each other. Quick throw here by Cincinnati. As we mentioned, Alan Koch making quite a few changes. Bob Lilly looking to get a couple of players back soon, and a long ball looking now for DeFregger, and he cannot catch up with that. Actually, that was Bukemia, who's over on the left side to start.
Well, it should be a good defensive game, Mike, I think tonight. They're both very, very solid defensively. Very good goalkeeper in Gomez with Rochester. At one point, he was the U.S. men's under-20 national team goalkeeper. He's played there. And he was the Golden Glove winner, which means it was like .69 goals against last year. So that was top in USL. He's done their back four, according to Bob Lilly, and defensively they've been doing a lot better job. Seems that they're really kind of gelling defensively. So it's going to be tough. Cincinnati's always strong defensively.
Well, Cincinnati will look to play the ball out into the near side on the left foot. That shot's deflected. It will roll back to Gomez. You mentioned the .69 goals against average. That's pretty impressive, unless I tell you that was my grade point average. And you just kind of get through the motions there as Gomez sends that up across midfield.
Yeah, kind of what makes it a little bit even more impressive. They've only in 7 games. There's been 10 goals against, but there were 5 in one game. So in reality, he's only given up. It's basically 1 goal a game. So he's doing a good job. That's for sure.
A big kick of Gomez will pinch Cincinnati with a throw deep in their own end. Rochester looking to create a little pressure as that one's sent upfield. And perhaps on the turnover, it is taken down by Forbes. On the turn, Cincinnati will be whistled for the foul as Walker goes through a player. It'll be James on the near side. Ryan Felix on the switch, and that's not going to get there. But a ball going back to their own end will force pressure on Cincinnati. A great move in the corner, and now it's cleared upfield. The goalkeeper as an outlet will send it up the field. Here's Mansoret, who will lose it. He'll get it back, though. Opportunity now is Fordyce tries to cut inside, and Rochester defensively up to it, and good job there by James, who will use his goalkeeper. So 4 minutes in, both teams still filling each other out early.
Yeah, this is kind of the way it goes. Mike, they're just trying to make sure there's no mistakes done in the first 5 minutes of the game by either team, which is pretty normal. You don't want to get scored on in the first 5 minutes. I have seen games recently that's happened. Unfortunately, it happened to Pittsburgh against Louisville, and they weren't able to recover from it. They lost several weeks ago, 1-0.
Here's Jay, who's, we mentioned the early start. Hildebrand has been in the net most of the night. Haven't heard word on why it's Dallas Jay, other than the fact that maybe a couple of shutouts this week for Cincinnati. As this ball's played in over the top, it's through the legs of Jay, and Rochester can't get the pull across, and it's offside though on the first call. Late whistle, but apparently as that ball went through, and maybe that affected Dallas J and not letting it get past him, but very scary moment here.
Yeah, I think we need to take a good look at this, Mike. That's kind of, boy, I'm not sure you can, that's, I don't really have anything to say about that Mike, because that should definitely not have happened. I think he just lost concentration. And he was very fortunate to get away with that.
We see the shadows and obviously the sun going in that direction, but it did get past Jay. But Bukimia was offside, and the whistle was there. There was no doubt as it did go into it, but didn't hear when the whistle blew. So early on, a scary moment, at least for Cincinnati. Can't turn, and Cincinnati sends it up a little bit. Ball is being held up a little bit. Wind at the back of Rochester, and they'll have it at the feet now. As Bukimia was the target, Fordyce is across there and able to get that ball.
They don't make it easy, that's for sure. Rochester's playing at their home. They're not supposed to. They're putting pressure on Cincinnati. They're trying to keep them in their own half. And that's clearly, I mean, Bob Little, this is his second stint at Rochester. He's been there since 2014. And he feels that as time goes on in the league, they're perennially a very good team in the USL. They've done great being here over almost 20 years. I believe they've been in the league almost 21 years. Their 21st year since 1996. So they're going to continue to get better as the season unfolds.
Well, Forbes will have it after the free kick. Went all the way across. It holds up a little bit, not able to do anything with it. Cincinnati has the ball, and as Dominguez looks forward, he'll turn it right over to Rochester again. But as that ball tries to go to the middle, Cincinnati now gets an opportunity. Mansoray cuts inside. Miscommunication as that one goes out.
And in Rochester's, speaking of Rochester, once again, the strength of their team is up and down the spine of their team, Mike. They have a very, very good goalkeeper, but Wallfall and Canardo Forbes, Jamaican player, both very, very solid defensively. They kind of anchor that midfield. What makes it very difficult for teams, if they're going to beat Rochester, they're going to have to go out wide. And Coach Lilly's well aware of that, and aware that they have some speed, they have pace outside. Cincinnati does. You need to shut that down.
McMahon on the throw. He'll come back across as Dominguez finds the open man, and now Cincinnati tries to switch the attack. Rochester comes across, but they're able to push it back towards midfield. Dropped as McMahon finds Fordyce. Fordyce cannot go around. And now it's taken off the feet. Looking wide here is Forbes. Canardo Forbes looking for help on the left foot. Cincinnati, good job of getting defenders behind the ball. As Forbes cuts inside, he'll be able to rip a shot, but it is blocked. And Cincinnati with Mansoray looking to counter. Mansoray inside.
Just need to execute that shot just a little bit quicker than what he did. But it was a good defensive play. Good block, man.
Wiedemann finds Kenny Walker. Walker into Fordyce off his foot, and Rochester sends it over the touchline for the throw.
And both of these teams did very well in midweek in U.S. Open Cup. They advanced for June 14th. There's 9 USL teams that actually did that, Mike, which is fantastic for USL. Great. And then in this particular round of U.S. Open Cup, they're beginning to bring in MLS teams. So both of these teams, are playing MLS teams on the June 14th.
Rochester gets New England, and Cincinnati will get Columbus.
Yep, which will be, those will be 2 very, very good games.
2 regional matchups for both these teams. Get a chance.
And what I was referring to, they might have a little bit of a hangover from that Wednesday, the Wednesday game. It's going to take a little while for them to get rolling here.
Mansour's short's coming down a little bit, but he's able to find player, but Forbes able to take it away. And we mentioned Rochester as we hit the 10th minute, scoreless here in Rochester, but we mentioned, in fact, only 7 games played in league play. But because of that Wednesday night game, after having a week to rest from the Rowdies, of Cincinnati again whistled for a foul. They're going to have a lot of games coming up. They will hit the road heading down to Florida this week, Orlando and Tampa Bay. Yeah. But then you also mentioned a couple weekend games after that, then the U.S. Open Cup again.
Within 15 days, they have about 5 games. And speaking of Bob Lilly, that's right now they're fairly healthy except for Francois. So he seemed to have a really good feeling about the health of the club, but they're a fairly deep team, and things are going to happen. Injuries are going to happen, and as long as they can maybe stay away from those injuries or mitigate those, he really feels that he's going to. He feels he can, pick some points up in the next 15, 20 days. And with 7 games in hand, all they need is a couple of wins, Mike, and they're right there, in 3rd and 4th position.
You hate to project wins, but yeah, absolutely. If they were to win those games in hand, they would be leading the table.
Yeah, well, that's the reason, and that's the reason why they play the game, right? But that's the reason why it's important for them to get a result against Cincinnati tonight. And what I mean by that is 3 points.
Forbes again on it, looking on the left foot, pressured to flex off of Cincinnati, but kept in bounds as James comes back for it. Felix back into the corner, and here's Beresford. Beresford too far for him, and it'll be a throw-in for Rochester, for Cincinnati.
They've lost a few forwards, Rochester, this last year, even though in 7 games they've scored 12 goals. And usually the offense, it takes time to gel. It just does. Defenses usually come together a little bit quicker. It's always harder to create, I thought, than I don't know if it's the right word, but destroy or, stop teams from scoring, destroy their chances. It's a little bit easier to get defensive cohesion than it is to get that understanding from a attacking point of view.
Ball loose now. Rochester has it towards the area, sent back towards the back post. It's over everyone, and it will go over the touchline and will be a goal kick. Well, soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, you can visit NikeSoccer.com.
I think after what happened with Jay just about 4 or 5 minutes ago, I think Bob Lilly would want them to definitely get a few shots on target, shots on goal, and see exactly, test him a little bit. Don't make it so, he hasn't even played this year. Don't make it easy on him, that's for sure. And I'm sure he's well aware of that, and he's told the guys that before the game. Let's put him under pressure.
Well, foul on Rochester. Cincinnati will have the dead ball, and this is one thing Bob Lilly did want to look out for. Some of the restarts.
Yeah, the restarts are one of Cincinnati's really strong points. They'll usually send up their center halves, and they're very precise in where they're knocking the ball, and there's some big guys too. So it puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
Ball played short. Lots of space. Now sent into the box, but Gomez will come in. That ball floated in. A lot of space given there to Cincinnati. But the long ball into the box was easily handled by Gomez.
And one of their danger guys, too, is Delbridge for Cincinnati. One of the center halves. He's not even playing tonight. For what reason, we're really not sure. As is why Hildebrand's not playing tonight. We're not sure either.
Possibly because of and I know it started this before again, I start talking about that in another opportunity here for Rochester, but because of the 2 games this week, and Cincinnati doesn't play for another week, but opting to give these other players an option tonight. Rochester again with it. It'll be a throw-in. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on SiriusXM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, SiriusXM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. A ball played short in Cincinnati now. We'll have possession, looking forward. That is Nicholson. Can't connect with Fordyce. Wall fall. Over the top, looking, and Jay's outside the box. This time he does whiff on it. Graff will run it down. He'll keep it in on the corner, but he is all the way in the corner flag, and Jay has a chance to get back. Now an opportunity, and Bukimia will try to go on target, but that is well wide, and Jay has been a little shaky towards the top of his area. One time winning with the whistle blown, but this time certainly very scary for a moment.
Yeah, take a look. I think he came out. He did. I'm not sure. Look to me, as you said, Mike, looked like he just totally whiffed the ball. A lot of times you just have to make contact and knock it away from the forward. Good decision by him to come out. I get it, definitely. But he needs to make sure if he's going to come out, he has to get that ball. It has to be going back the other way, not towards his goal.
He was rather fortunate, did roll towards the corner, gave him time, but still a moment that Rochester, perhaps behind the plays, this is rolling back. Jay does collect this one.
What would be good for him is to have a good, comfortable save. He's a little bit nervous right now, I think. A nice, comfortable save, shot from 25, 30 yards out, maybe one little bounce, gets into his hands. He's going to be a little bit more comfortable about that.
As long as he handles it well.
Yes, and I'm sure. I would think that he would be trying to handle that pretty good.
But yeah, those moments sometimes butterfly. First it's hard, so you have to wonder going into the league, and Hildebrandt's been very good on the year. Here's Nicholson. Nice little touch there for McMahon, and now up to Mansoure. Mansoure with 3 Rhinos on him, and it will go off of Felix, and it will be a throw-in for Cincinnati. They'll turn it over. Looking for Graff just beyond the photograph, and there's Halfhill. Garrett Halfhill, who's an amateur just signed earlier this month, or I guess maybe in May, late in May, out of Xavier University. Getting the start tonight, and you pointed out Harrison Delbridge has been a mainstay, not in that lineup tonight.
That was a nice play right there.
Ball played towards the corner. Rochester, his play on continued. Bodies tangled up, but nothing deemed foul worthy, and it's headed back to the goalkeeper, Gomez.
Well, we're going to have to get the spray out there, John.
Fall and Forbes, the 2 holding midfielders tonight for Rochester, and a key part for Bob Lilly and his Rhinos. Into the 19th minute, that ball skips over the Cincinnati player's foot. Might have a Rhino that's down, and I think we will get a whistle blown. I don't know if something twisted, but it did not appear to be a contact injury at this point. And you have to wonder, and is that wall fall at this point, or is that Bukimia? It's Bukimia, I believe. It is 24. So Bukimia, who goes down, he's up on his feet. He's talking to the trainer, but the whistle blew, and I don't know if he twisted something up, but his lack of contact by going to the ground, and he'll go back to the ground, although it's the hand or it's the quad that's being looked at. Might not be long for this one, as the Rochester Rhinos might be forced to go to their bench here in the first half. And the USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting www.uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter @USL. Bukimia has to come off the field, obviously getting the training out. And perhaps we have another opportunity to look and see from behind.
Kind of hard. It's kind of hard to see it at this point, Mike, on that
I think there had been contact prior to that. He was pointing back towards the box, and maybe he got back, but he's off the field and is.
Sniper got him, maybe.
That is always
it's
an
always
option.
the old sniper.
It
We got to
can
go
be.
with that one on that.
Sometimes it's the most logical explanation. So Rochester does make the sub, and coming into the game will be Bradley Camden Feo. So Camden Feo in for Bukemia.
And his hometown is Paris, France, of all places.
And nicely chested down by Ryan James, the goalkeeper.
Well done.
Long ball headed by Cincinnati. Second ball comes to Rochester. Forbes. Uses Dover. Beresford has moved over to the right side. Will lose it. Cincinnati looking as they bring it up the middle. Running their 4-3-3. That one's over the foot, but it will still find a Cincinnati player, but a bad ball. Next, good turn by Wall Fall. Fall attacking forward, and he'll play it out of bounds. And I guess this is actually where the sub. We had it as Camden Feo now making his way on. So that's why we saw just play it out. Not really sure if you have the ball attacking why you would play it out to that point.
I'm a little bit mystified by that, Mike, but then maybe you're going to ask Wallfall why he did that.
It looked like he got word from the bench. Someone said, yeah, play it out. But if you're attacking, I guess you don't want to lose it and then find you're still down a man and not have it. But sportsmanship shown. Cincinnati will play it back.
And I think it's going to get worse.
Rochester again
Right into my lens.
on it. And this is James finding some help. Dover wide. Dover dribbles over the line and will be a throw-in. Coming up on the halfway mark of the first half, Rochester and Cincinnati scoreless.
A little bit, not a lot of rhythm going on in the game right now, Mike. There's not, not 7, 8, 9 passes. Ball goes out wide. Ball gets whipped in. There's the passing of the final ball to get it into dangerous places in the field just is not happening by either team right now.
Now a chance here as the long ball across is going to be chested down by Cincinnati. Cincinnati's visit here to Capelli Sports Stadium, coming here on this first Saturday of June. Beautiful evening. Ball switched across, and Cincinnati will find some space on the left side. Here is Halfhill. Left back for Garrett Halfhill. Under pressure, he'll use his goalkeeper, Jay.
And Halfhill hasn't played much this year. I think he played in one U.S. Open Cup match. Is not a normal starter for Cincinnati. Gets a start tonight.
Long ball looking for Koenig. We have not called his name much tonight, as most of the action has been controlled by Rochester, but not going forward. But here's a chance for Cincinnati down on the far side, looking in, headed across and now headed out. Fordyce was running in, and it looked like it was James that was there to clear it out, but Cincinnati with the second ball.
Good ball in, good defending, good header out. Rochester did a good job there, cleaning that up.
And soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Gomez looks it over. He sent some long balls up and put the Cincinnati line under pressure. See what he does with this one. A couple finds his forward, running up, as that was Camden Feo on the match now. Gomez now again switches it out.
Well, nowadays in today's soccer, Mike, goalkeepers have to use their feet and have to be good at it. That was a good distribution. Good distribution by Gomez out to the right side of the halfway line.
Used to be a luxury if you had a guy who could do it, just because the attacking options. But now, like you said, it's a necessity.
Rules of soccer dictate you have to have a goalkeeper that's very, very good with his feet, both right and left-footed.
That ball won by Cincinnati. Mansoray shielding out the ball. He'll go down. He'll get the free kick. Has Fordyce on it.
Northern Irish player, 30 years old.
Last couple of years, I believe, with Edmonton.
Fordyce, yeah. So Fordyce, he has been in the league several years. Yep.
Here's Mansoray on the turn. He's trying to slot it through. The ball's going to ricochet, and now cleared out by Fall. Fall's, though, pass is not controlled by Beresford, and Cincinnati will have it back. Up front, here's Koenig. Can't control it. Off him, Wall Fall on it. Second ball, and there's action behind the play. Nothing called there.
You can see a lot of Rochester's movements going forward come through Wall Fall. And also, Forbes. Both two, like I've said before, two very, very, very important players.
Dover, surrounded by FC Cincinnati players, and it'll be played off of DeFregger. So the throw-in will go Cincinnati's way.
Yeah, it looks like the forward. I think it's Bukima.
Bukimia.
Yep, looks like he has an ice bag on his quad, on his right quad. So just to make sure, like we talked about earlier, got about 5 games in 15 days. He's going to be needed during that stretch. I think Bob Lilly's just taking a precaution, making sure that he doesn't really tear it severely, because that could be a 6-week job.
And as you said, as we saw him fall, the action had occurred beyond the play before that, a little up the field. He was able to get to his feet, but as you pointed out, you definitely don't need something worse if it's something that you can prohibit for you can make.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Yep, there's a lot of games he has coming up. Needs to get some points. We would like to get points, that's for sure. And they've only lost 1 game this entire USL season. There's only 4 teams in the league, Mike, that have lost 1 game.
This is Rochester's 5th home game in a row. There was a game at St. Louis early on in the ball. Teaser right there as Graff almost had the turnover going. Would have had a one-on-one chance. But that game at St. Louis had the river flooding earlier. So it has given them 5 games in a row at home. They will, like we said, hit the road for 2 as Koenig into the box for Cincinnati. He'll try and cut it back, but he does cut it right back into green shirts. It's turned over, although they'll get it back as it rolls into Beresford. Brandon Beresford has to go backwards as Cincinnati will push the ball back. But the games at Orlando and at Tampa Bay, and those are part of that big stretch of games that you were talking about. And then, of course, against the Revolution in the U.S. Open Cup.
And that's a big deal too to play an MLS team. Huge for any USL team, and it's big particularly when there's home games involved. Some of the USL teams, will be able to play at home. That's a big deal. And a lot of them carry, like Cincinnati, they carry a huge contingent for away games. They have a massive, I think it was 18,000 people, a recent home game that they won. So it's, really, Mike, it's some tremendous stuff happening in the USL. Very exciting soccer, exciting young players.
Mansoray will earn the throw for Cincinnati as McMahon comes up. Cincinnati starting to control a little bit of play as of the last 5 minutes or so, a little bit more. No real pressure on net, but certainly more into the attacking third as Fordyce tries to go over Farrell. And Rochester able to clear it away. DeFreger can't run it down, though. And that's Polak for Cincinnati. Tyler Polak will continue his run forward from his back position and get it now, and he'll lose it. Forbes. That ball rolls a little bit too far behind it. Will slow it down. Camden Feo, Bradley Camden Feo, gets it back to Forbes. Forbes inside, good tackle by McMahon. Koenig for Cincinnati. Looking for the overlapping run. I think that's Wiedemann back to Koenig. Can't catch up with it, and Felix is able to send it up the field.
That's a good clearance by Felix. That's very, very good. He was under some pressure there on his end line. A lot of kind of possession in the midfield, Mike, box to box. Not a lot going on. Not a lot of the ball getting wide. Ball's being knocked in. You got to pull defenders. You got to use the width of the field if you're going to have, sustained success. And the ball. By the time I think they're running out of ideas right now. Maybe tired, maybe fatigued. Not really sure. But there's not a lot of. They're not putting either goalkeeper, under any type of pressure.
We have yet to call a save for either goalkeeper yet. Gomez been strong off his line when asked. This one back into the area, and this one's going to be easily headed down for Gomez. And fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM-FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM-FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times. 33rd minute here at Capelli Sports Stadium, Rochester, New York. Free kick will go the way of the Rhinos, who want to chase the ball down. It's Forbes looking back across. Again, it's Farrell. Cincinnati extending their pressure a little bit, but Dover able to get around one. He does have two on him, and now he'll play it out for Cincinnati ball.
Yeah, Cincinnati's not making it easy on Rochester, that's for sure. They're putting them under pressure. They haven't managed to get wide and get the ball across. Like I said, I feel like a broken record. It's the second time we're saying it, but that's the way you're going to pull the defense apart. And then forwards can run in between the defenders into those gaps.
That ball to no one except Gomez. Rochester already having to make a sub. Bukemia has an apparent quad injury that's forced him from this one. Played inside, taken away by Cincinnati. Little space now. Walker. Wiedemann up the field looking for Koenig. Koenig on a vicious tackle. He's still on the ball, though. Into the area. He's looking across. Ball run back, chase back by Camden Feo. He's got plenty of space.
Tremendous defensive play there. 80 was well on by Cincinnati. Had a great chance. That was great defensive move from a midfielder coming back and helping out his defense. Great job.
Another look back at that tackle, and you can see it.
Referee used it, just played on. He
Advantage.
easily could have called a foul there.
Still, we've seen enough time. That still may not be a non-cautionable offense. If you look at it, we just haven't had a stoppage in play yet. So we'll see whether or not too much time goes on or something is still looked at. But that was almost all player credit to Koenig for getting up and almost creating a dangerous thing. A lot of times you'll see the player go down there. But opportunity now is Dover for Rochester, looking to send it in the box. He does on the back post. It's headed up. Second ball is still free. Bradley Fair, Canyon Fair. Now the ball is shot up over the top as Wall Fall got onto it. And again, another ball sent into the area, and Rochester able to run onto it, just not able to put the shot on target. Another look, Winston.
Yeah, I mean, Cincinnati did a good job defensively. They cleared it out, and it was really a half chance by Fall, not something that was, I would consider, gilt-edged or really a great opportunity.
Jay's goal kick, headed up. Up the field. Mansoray will drop off and take the second ball. Well read by Mansoray, but he cannot, as he will lose possession. And it's an opportunity as DeFreger has his pass set to front. Maybe that was Beresford. No, it was actually DeFreger. Now the ball towards the corner. Wiedemann, as the header goes up in the air. Good job, Dover, of getting to it.
Well, they're certainly defending well right now, Rochester. They're putting pressure on Cincinnati, putting pressure on that ball. And you can understand why. I mean, they've only given up, 10 goals, and 5 of those are in one game. So over 6 games, they've only given up 5 goals, Mike. You can see why. The midfield works very, very hard for them. Falls all over the place, like you can see it right now.
Here's Pollock, and
the defenders, they do a good job defending what they're supposed to do. They just, right now, is just getting their legs and going forward. Coach Lilly realizes that. He's lost some forwards, as I've said before, last year. And so they're almost getting goals by committee. Not one single guy is getting all the goals. Kind of a good, it's a good team effort.
well, it'll be a corner kick. First of the game for Cincinnati. In fact, first for either team, it'll be Kenny Walker. That'll send this one in. Gomez, no one around him, and he catches it about 3 yards out. No pressure on the goalie.
No, but that is something that Cincinnati does very well. Their free kicks. Bob Lilly said that they're very, very dangerous. They have some big guys. And when you do that, and those balls get whipped in like that one was and flat, it's dangerous for goalkeepers, very dangerous for defenders. They hate defending going back to their own goal.
Shoulder charge. Cincinnati will come away with it. Good tackle. Who to go off of? It goes off of White. It'll be a green throw. Wall Fall over to take it, but he'll leave it for his defender, James. Turn that arm, holding him back, but still play on is Groff. Able to go now. Here is Ryan James. Into the 40th minute, still scoreless. Ryan James sending it for Johan Groff. Loose ball down, Fall to the thigh. Beresford on the shot, just wide. Jay may have had it covered, but Beresford just missed the post, and it'll be a goal kick.
Take a look at the replay, Mike. You can see, I'm not saying you couldn't take a crack at it from 25 yards out. I believe there's a player coming up to his right. Easily could have slid him in. I think when you'll see this, player out to the right, you can see that. Slide him in and let him have a cross, let him have a shot. It's kind of speculative from 25 yards out. If he could have done that, the guy's a little bit wider out wide right. It's a good opportunity.
Another chance. Here's that one. Maybe gone off of Rochester, and it looks like it'll be an FC Cincinnati corner kick. It will be. On to that last thought, Winston. You talk about you saw the overlapping run. Is it a matter like you haven't seen shots into the 40th minute of the game that you maybe get a little over-ambitious, or is that maybe the mindset?
Yeah, you have a really good point. I think it's quality. I think you gotta have some quality, and those players are playing at a certain level sometimes, and there's reasons for it. You see a lot of, really top teams. They take their patient, play it out wide like that. Guy gets in. That's great. Next time, defender slips away a little bit. Maybe you can take the ball yourself, or you can have a little bit better shot.
Here's Pollock on the corner, headed up again by Rochester. It'll be another corner kick for FC Cincinnati. Tyler Pollock, that time going near post.
Pollock's an American player. Played at Creighton University. Played a lot for Cincinnati last year. This year, he's a solid player for him.
Left-footed boot, playing the left back. He'll come up to take this for an in-swinging corner. 2 hands up, that means back post. They'll go to the back post, and this one easily collected by Gomez. No one got in front of him. That one's coming down a little bit, and there are more players crashing a little bit, but Gomez still unobstructed in catching that.
I'm doing a good job. Good hands, good handling. That's what you don't want to have happen. Like, lose the ball in your own half. I'm sure Rochester doesn't want to do that, and Coach Lilly is not happy about it.
Played towards the corners. FC Cincinnati runs it down, looking long. Rochester trying to keep it. Pressure as Forbes able to turn. And the USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter at USL. So Rochester looking to go forward. That one will go off the foot, and it will be a throw for Cincinnati. As the ball boy chases it down, McMahon ready to look at it. Everyone getting a little bit of a breather. Sun low in the sky in the face of Cincinnati. We'll see how the second half, whether it holds up long enough to be a factor into the face of Rochester. That one taken away, and Dominguez will have it back at his feet. He'll hold it a little late. Graf will take it off of him. But Rochester, not totally sure with it, but Forbes will run through, and he's taken down. So a free kick here for the Rhinos. About 35 yards out, not dead center, but it is certainly an opportunity to send their bigger bodies up should they choose.
See if they can get the ball into, towards Fall. Big, tall guy. He's well over 6 foot. I'm sure he has good jumping ability. See what they can do. See what they can do with the free kick. He's it's very dangerous. He's bending it in.
2-man wall. Forbes over it. Forbes will take it. He'll send it into the box. Actually, and it's not bent in. It is back post. They'll try and head it up. They'll say it'll be a corner kick. It'll be a corner kick for the Rhinos. As DeFreger will run out to take it. So we're well into the 44th minute as we first half. Coming towards an end. DeFreger waiting on a ball now. He'll get it. Now he won't take it after all. Or he will. There's a ball on the field.
Just didn't like that ball.
That's right. Let's wait this one. Let's not take the other one. DeFreger, out swinger.
Well, it's a mismatch there. You can see 15 and 17. Just a physical mismatch.
Towards the 6, headed down and just wide. Chance for Rochester. They get ahead on it, but they can't find the target on the shot. And that one held up a little bit, Winston. I think that certainly Dallas J, you like to see the young goalkeepers, but I think he's one to look to see if he can get into this first 45, close down, and maybe settle some nerves a little bit.
Well, I think he's very, very happy that there was an offside in the first 5 minutes. It went right through his arms and between his legs. And he miscleared another one. So, I think he feels a little bit fortunate. Having said that, that's really all that And it's two real kind of hopeful balls that Rochester generated.
Sure.
It's been, well, I kind of say a herky-jerky first half. Nothing really fluid. A lot of tackles. A lot of some good and bad passing in the midfield.
1 minute of stoppage time here at Capelli Sports Stadium. Rochester, Cincinnati into that final minute of the first half. Well, we get another opportunity as Dover looks forward. That pass read by Pollock. Pollock runs into trouble. Loose ball, though, will come to Cincinnati. It's still free. And now the ball behind the play is Fordyce will be whistled for the foul. Came in a little late, maybe stepped on the Rhino. Still down. That is wall fall.
That's wall fall.
As fall is up. Free kick at midfield. As Rochester opt to send one into the box for one final chance. Dover, or actually Forbes, sent it into the box. And Jay will get that one easily. And as it goes into his hands, we'll hear the halftime whistle from Rochester, New York, Capelli Sports Stadium, where it is scoreless. Neither team able to really generate exact opportunities, but we will have an opportunity at our half to see what may have and may have not transpired, because Rochester and FC Cincinnati, neither team could come away with a goal. We got halftime coming up next from Capelli Sports Stadium.
When I sprained my left knee,
they did so much to help me at
Lattimore Physical Therapy.
With 20 locations throughout Monroe and Livingston County, pain relief is never more than minutes away. Same-day appointments available. Most insurance accepted. Call 1-888-PT-ROCHS.
Lattimore Physical Therapy.
Multiple concussions actually put people at risk for early dementia. It's kind of like Alzheimer's with a kind of paranoid, angry edge to it. So we've been trying to develop a blood test for concussion so we can say yes or no. You had a concussion, yes or no. Hopefully, early diagnosis equals early treatment and prevention of dementia down the line.
There's another reason I'm here. We're gonna add one last station.
Hey you, yes you. Do you have trouble sitting in that chair? Are you uncomfortable when you sleep?
When was the last time you truly relaxed?
At Integrated Massage Therapy, we have over 40 years experience.
We offer deep tissue, relaxation, and hot stone.
We can reduce your stress, pain, headaches, and increase your flexibility.
We have 2 convenient locations in Hilton and Irondequoit.
We work with fibromyalgia, post-surgical, athletes, everyone from young and old. Please see our website below.
We are your official massage therapists of the Rochester Rhinos.
Go Rhinos!
And welcome back here to Rochester, where the first half has come to a conclusion, and we are scoreless. Rochester Rhinos 0, FC Cincinnati 0. And a look at the halftime stats. As you can see, not a lot of shots, nothing on target where neither goalkeeper was tested. 3 of them for Rochester, 1 for FC Cincinnati. Possession was about broken down even, and we had an offside call too. Cincinnati created a few more opportunities with some corner kicks, but weren't very dangerous off any of those later into the first half. So a scoreless first 45 minutes that we have seen here. And, of course, Rochester and FC Cincinnati be underway. We will mention also that Rochester had to make one sub due to injury. We'll keep you up to date on all that. More to come on the halftime from Capelli Sports Stadium, Rochester and Cincinnati. Scoreless.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional third division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a disciplined financial model and operational excellence, featuring exciting venues to thrill fans, in hungry new markets yearning for the game. USL Division III, professional, passionate, proven. Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit usld3.com.
Danny Koenig is getting back into form in his new home with FC Cincinnati. The 2015 Golden Boot runner-up scored 21 goals 2 seasons ago, but struggled to follow up that impressive performance, only adding 4 goals in 30 games for Oklahoma City Energy FC last year. On May 10th, a blockbuster early season trade sent Koenig to Cincinnati, having been held scoreless through 4 games with Energy FC in 2017. But that is no longer the case. Koenig has stepped into his new role for Cincinnati and found himself back in the scoring column, and also as the team's second leading scorer, tallying 3 goals in 3 appearances. Koenig finished with the brace in a 2-1 win against Bethlehem Steel FC, and led his team to a 1-0 win against Toronto FC2. Koenig's goal against TFC2 came moments after he was being treated on the sideline. He entered back into the game just in time to get on the end of a Tyler Polak cross. Those 2 wins were Cincinnati's first back-to-back wins of the season, both in front of more than 18,000 fans at Nippert Stadium. Koenig last scored in 3 consecutive games in July 2015. He will look to match that feat for Cincinnati in Week 11 against the Rochester Rhinos. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
And that was a good look at Danny Koenig, who has helped Cincinnati get a couple of wins here in the last time. But we do not have a goal here yet tonight, as he has taken on the Rochester Rhinos. They've shut him out through half, as is Cincinnati. More coming up next.
Hey you, yes you. Do you have trouble sitting in that chair?
Are you uncomfortable when you sleep?
When was the last time you truly relaxed?
At Integrated Massage Therapy, we have over 40 years experience.
We offer deep tissue, relaxation, and hot stone.
We can reduce your stress, pain, headaches, and increase your flexibility.
We have 2 convenient locations in Hilton and Irondequoit.
We work with fibromyalgia, post-surgical, athletes, everyone from young and old. Please see our website below.
We are your official massage therapists of the Rochester Rhinos.
Go Rhinos!
Multiple concussions actually put people at risk for early dementia. It's kind of like Alzheimer's with a kind of paranoid, angry edge to it. So we've been trying to develop a blood test for concussion so we can say yes or no. You had a concussion, yes or no. Hopefully, early diagnosis equals early treatment and prevention of dementia down the line.
There's another reason I'm here. We're gonna add one last station.
When I sprained my left knee, they did so much to help me at
Lattimore Physical Therapy.
With 20 locations throughout Monroe and Livingston County, pain relief is never more than minutes away. Same-day appointments available. Most insurance accepted. Call 1-888-PT-ROCHS.
Lattimore Physical Therapy.
And welcome back here to Rochester on a evening that still has a little bit of time here on the sunlight. And right now we'll see if the sun can start shining on the second half, because we'll take a look back at the first half where the Rhinos and FC Cincinnati scoreless. Not a lot going on, but this was early on a good chance. Cincinnati started, almost had it. So they cut it inside. Winston, the shot blocked by Mansoure.
Yep, good job by Rochester defense.
Here's a through ball. The offside flag was up, and fortunate for Dallas J. But you can tell maybe he didn't really know at that point in time, but because he was scrambling back pretty fast.
That was for a goalkeeper. That was criminal.
That was a lot of space given there, and probably should have been a better ball in by Polak. Had a lot of room with that many players up. Another chance here. This one was through, and this is the other opportunity we talked about. Jay, maybe not strong enough, maybe whiffed on it, but got lucky, went to the corner.
Definitely looks to me like he whiffed on it. Just barely touched it, Mike, right? And
yeah.
Rochester forward put some pressure on him.
Fall, sends it out to Dover on that, and a chance inside. This was right before. Didn't quite get an opportunity, but that's what we saw a lot of, just balls played up.
Here's what we were talking about here. Yep. Really kind of a hopeful ball. This is what we were talking about here. Play the guy in on the right side.
As he was overlapping him. And a good look here at Cincinnati and their upcoming matches. Does not, at least with Independence, Charleston Battery, of course, St. Louis, and they go to Orlando and Tampa Bay. So they'll make that trip down to Florida a little bit later. Does not include their U.S. Open Cup against Columbus as well. So we'll mix that into that. It's a busy schedule coming up.
Oh, they got some tough games, really tough games. Charlotte's up and coming. Charleston's leading the league. St. Louis, middle of the pack. Then you have Orlando City and at Tampa for their whole July 4th spectacular.
Down there in St. Petersburg on the waterfront, and Rochester's going to get that a chance here this week. We just saw the Orlando City, Tampa Bay trips, and Rochester gets to start with it, and Ottawa's a team that's playing very good as well. They have a very difficult schedule as well coming up over the next 5 weeks. That also includes their U.S. Open Cup game.
Yep.
It mixed in that group.
Yep, exactly, against New England. So that's it's very, very difficult, but they're front-loaded, Rochester, with their home games. You're going to see a little bit of this type of action happening during certain parts of the season to make up for all their home games they had in the beginning.
Yeah, as they get that, and you will see, of course, 3 of the 5. And a good look here, the Eastern Conference standings. We don't see Rochester in there, but as you pointed out, their only one loss still does make a good room for them to improve. Of course, Cincinnati's sitting right there in that tie for third, four-way tie for third. Both those teams chasing Charleston and Tampa Bay, but as
sitting in ninth place is Rochester. All they need, and they have 12 points. All they need is 3 points. Look where it puts them, 15 points, and they then they'll actually have, and they have 4 games in hand over the leading Charleston Battery, who has 23. So they're really in good position.
Absolutely, when you see that, and of course when you can move them all to 15. And out west, 2 teams really have taken off. San Antonio is yet to lose this year here, winning through 11 games, and Real says, hey, don't forget about us. We're right there on your tail.
Right, San Antonio has some very, very fast players up front, and a team that actually hasn't done too well as of last year. Tulsa Roughnecks are coming up a little bit.
That's
so
a
we
familiar
like
name.
the Tulsa Roughnecks. Yeah, you and I do.
All things from my hometown, and that's where I got a chance to meet you many years ago, Winston, as you won a soccer ball there. So.
And Swope Park Rangers, who are Kansas City's affiliate.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in number 8, and the Switchbacks, who's coached by Steve Tritch, who used to play in the United States national men's team.
Yeah.
Steve always puts out a good product in Colorado Springs.
Absolutely, yeah. Steve is a great guy, and the luck on that is Rochester made their way back out onto the field. You saw Bradley Camden-Feo in that huddle, and he's the one pulling up his socks right now. He came on as a substitute, and he had to, as Bukemia had to leave the field. Ryan Bukemia had a little bit of a quad injury, apparently, so that kind of stretched him out a little bit. But I guess, second half action, we've already seen, these teams maybe a little bit more tired. We both saw them play midweek games, Winston. We saw Cincinnati also come into the game making a lot of changes. So what are your expectations here for the second half, perhaps?
Well, I don't know. I think Cincinnati both of them want to keep better care of the ball in the midfield. They both were pressuring each other and forcing mistakes. But I think both coaches say, listen, we got to take better care of the final ball, delivering it into the penalty area, getting it to the feet of the forwards, keeping it, and allowing other players, our wide players, to join in. We got to get the ball wide, guys, and we got to get crosses in the box, which actually were very few and far between for both teams. So I'm sure both coaches have made changes and adjustments in order to do that.
A lot as Rochester came out early, they are ready. Cincinnati finally making their way back on, so maybe some last-minute words for Alan Koch to let his team make adjustments. And I would think it would be fair to say that as we hit the second half of action, both teams want to make adjustments because neither one very dangerous throughout, but defensively you got to give them both credit. They were able to limit both each other, at least from quality chances.
Right. I think Rochester's back four is really solid. Done a great job. You got Farrell, Felix, Dover, and James in there. I think the key is Wall and Forbes in front. They sit in front of those back four, make it really allow really Dover and James should be bombing forward a little bit further. So by having those two guys hold in there, that gives them a lot of flexibility. The wing backs a lot of flexibility. Cincinnati, typically very, very strong defensively regardless. So they are making it hard on Rochester. But Cincinnati is the same thing. We want to let's keep it tight, guys. First 10 or 15 minutes. Let's allow them to, they're going to come at us. They're going to try to get a goal. Let's counterattack, be smart about using the ball, and make sure to allow other players to keep it. Don't give the ball away cheaply.
We'll see how the sun comes into play. 6:05 kickoff in upstate New York in Rochester, and it seems to be setting right now in the face of the Rochester Rhinos, so we'll see if that does play into Gomez. Not wearing a hat, not directly in his face, but certainly if that ball were to come from that side, it may be a bit of a challenge. Rochester in their green from head to toe. Cincinnati with the white head to toe, a little orange and blue trim. Rochester's trim is in white as they'll have a throw in front of the Cincinnati bench.
And as we've talked before, Mike, they've, over the last year, Bob Lilly, the Rochester coach, has lost a few players, so forwards particularly. So that's very, very difficult, as we talked about, to gel, to get the forwards thinking, midfielders and forwards, everybody thinking on the same page, have a bit of imagination, and to create opportunities. That's usually the last piece of a puzzle for a team to put together. And you can see it's goals by committee. No one player has got a lot of goals, except actually Fall and Forbes in the midfield with 3 and 2 respectively.
Ball does fall down to the feet for Fall. Sent over. Now wide is Dover. Dover trying to run and keep it in. He does. Back to Dover. Is open. He's now into the box. Looking to pick out a player towards the top of the 18. It's still free. The touch, and it goes off the post. Cleared away by Cincinnati. Rochester, very dangerous on a touch. Played towards the far post, and it goes off it. Loose ball now after the throw. It will be whistled for a foul from beyond it. But here is the chance. Nothing seemed to get in hard, Winston, but certainly it found its way through somewhere.
It was a good. It was a deflection off Graff, and fortunately for Jay, the ball could have bounced either way. It bounced straight out, and worked well in Cincinnati's favor. Sometimes that ball spins around and goes into the goal. It was just, it's. What can you say? You just got to touch on the ball. Graff just got to touch on the ball.
That's what strikers do.
And just redirected it.
Chance now played up to Koenig. Koenig has it stripped off him.
But think about where that ball came from, too, Mike. Came from wide position, right?
The open man, Dover on the overlapping run. Off the knee, Mansoret. Fordyce. Up to Pollock. Pollock. Back to Fordyce. Now sent wide to Wiedemann. Wiedemann towards the back post, headed away. Free ball comes down to Fall. Here is Rochester now trying to create, and they'll go up front. Out wide now towards Camden Feo, who sends it in, and it bounces for Jay, and he does pick that one up and rolls it out quickly.
I'm sure Bob Lilly, the Rochester coach, said, hey, guys, just get a couple of shots on this goalkeeper. I'm going to test him. I don't want to make it an easy game for him today. He looks a little bit nervous to start the game, probably settle in a little bit more since this is the second half.
One note, we did talk about the leading goal scorers with 3 for these teams, but Cincinnati will be getting their leading goal scorer back in GB Fall next game.
Yeah, very important player for them, yep.
Suspended 6 games, but had 6 goals in 6 games already. So,
very key player, very, very key player for Cincinnati. Obviously, that's enough said. 6 goals already this year. He scored in the Open Cup as well. They get him through to the next round, which will be a really huge game for Cincinnati on the 14th of June.
So they will be looking forward to adding him back to the starting lineup. Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Is that loose ball? Cincinnati too far in front. Now Fall looking back across the field.
Good ball by Farrell, too. Picked it off in midfield well. That's where you don't want to lose the ball from Cincinnati's perspective. Not inside your own half. But Rochester didn't take advantage of it.
Down off the body of Rochester. It'll be a Cincy ball.
When you win the ball in the other team's half, the other team gives it to you in their own half, you want to take advantage of that. You want to be able to keep the ball first, have the patience to keep it, and have the Nash to keep the ball. And the second part of it, bring other players and get them involved. It's a lot easier going 30 or 40 yards towards their goal than having to go, 80 yards.
Long ball looking for Mansoure, and it will roll just beyond Gomez, and he'll have the goal kick. Gomez trots back into his area.
Had a great season last year, Gomez. .69 goals against. Excellent season. This year, starting off much the same.
Strong in the back. Fordyce will win that one. Polak on the run. He's got help wide. It's Wiedemann. Again, Fordyce.
It's getting that piercing ball into the forward.
Crossed by Dominguez.
That's a good, trying to switch the point of attack, Mike. That's good. You can't give the ball away, though. I mean, it's gone, wasn't even within 10 yards of the guy. So.
Well, turnover here.
Yep, that's not what you want.
Cincinnati on the shot, and it will be at Gomez. Gomez able to collect that one. Did not find a side, and a relatively easy save for Gomez. But a turnover in your own third, almost, that's where you cause the trouble. And another turnover again. This time, Wiedemann.
Very speculative shot from 35 yards out.
Didn't go out of bounds, and it was off the sideline. I don't know what that tells you, but it was a mishit. I think that's fair to say. Now through ball, looking for Graf. Graf runs towards the corner. He'll collect it. He's got help with Camden Feo, who runs towards the line, looking to cross it. No one there, cleared away by Polak.
Only 2 guys in Rochester, 3 guys in Cincinnati in the box. Don't really like those odds, but at least that ball was wide.
Forbes on the back post, and an open Rochester player, Graf, not able to put it on target. It'll be a goal kick.
I think you'd like to take a good look at that. I think he just stretched out, just stretched so far for it. He didn't get a chance. He wasn't right over the top of it, but great ball in. Tremendous ball in by Forbes. Looks like Graf just stretched for it, knocked it over the top of the bar. I would say that was a tremendous opportunity.
Wrong-footed, really, as he had to short hop it. Probably wanted to take that one in the air if he could have.
But a good ball in by Forbes, no question about it. Got right in behind the Cincinnati defense.
Well, Rochester this half has had one off the post and now had a open shot from about 4 yards out on the back post go over. Having said that, they turned it over a couple times in their own third that Cincinnati's turned into shots. So opening up a little bit here for both teams. Now ball for Polak. Polak tries to cut it back for Fordyce. Rochester able to get to it. They'll take it wide. Forbes.
Well done by Forbes. Tremendous play by Jamaican. Nice and strong on the ball. Keeps it. Look at that. Nice and bright.
Well, the extracurricular activity with Watson. Watson was whistled for the foul. Watson thought he may have been fouled as he felt he got his arm across the neck and gave a gesture. Don't think it was necessarily obscene. I just think it was a gesture that deserved a talking to, and that's when the officials' whistle slowed down play when Rochester tried to play it quickly. Don't think there was a card issued, but certainly it did slow the game down. And soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Mansoray with a acrobatic reach, but he can't keep it in. It will be a throw in for, actually, I guess he's able to defensively do that, and he'll earn the throw for his team.
They take forever.
McMahon upfield. Second one, back out. "56 minutes passed here at Capelli Sports Stadium. Mike Pepper, Winston Dubose, Rochester and Cincinnati scoreless. Mansoray play it off of James, and it will be a throw in for Cincinnati.
Young Canadian player James doing a good job. Went to University of Wisconsin Green Bay. Well, that was not James, but Dover, excuse me. But James was drafted in the MLS Super Draft, 3rd round.
TSE micro programs are a jump start to an active lifestyle. Programs start at age 2.
Here's Gomez.
Kids learn the fundamentals of team sports in a fun
Lining it up down the field. Finds only the Cincinnati head. Chance now. They'll try and play that one. Second ball was there.
Excellent defending. And it looked like that was Farrell. Picked it off and controlled it well. Another good ball by Farrell.
Here's Forbes. That ball strong out to Camden Feo. Bradley Camden Feo will have it go back off him. Now he's got double teamed on him.
Not going too far there.
But he will get the throw. Maintain possession. Forbes again, just keeping possession. They'll swing it around, will Rochester. Farrell finds the cutting inside.
Good ball.
Out for Dover. Dover inside, off the right foot. Coming across, on the left and a shot, blocked. Running it down is McMahon as Camden Feo came in on the back post.
He wanted to use his left foot. Ideally, if he got there a step before Mike, he could have curled it in with his right easily. Just pass it into that right corner, but he chose to open his body, and it got blocked with his left foot.
Ball sent in. Now it's cleared up the field. Holds up on the bounce.
Rochester's getting a grip of the game a little bit more than what Cincinnati is right now. Had a few more opportunities are coming their way.
Driven ball into the area, and Jay will have it. Rolled out.
I feel right now at Rochester, there's rhythms to soccer games, and right now, Rochester seems to be dominating this portion or this season of the game. At least they have a few more quality opportunities, a few more than they did in the first half, that's for sure.
Has opened up a bit, but you pointed out the best chances so far today in the second half, Rochester. Right now, Rochester putting pressure, and they will almost force a turnover. The deflection, Cincinnati gets a loose ball, but they will turn it over. Back out wide, Dover. Dover had a great ball across earlier. He'll send this one across. It's headed away. Second ball headed back. And now Cincinnati able to clear the area. Rochester, good tackle by Fall. Fall will put it in.
Brilliant hustle by Fall. Excellent hustle there. Going after the second ball, won it. Just the quality of the cross, just missed it. Missed getting it in perfectly.
A couple of Cincinnati players are down.
Tremendous effort.
Well, one's tying a shoe. One is cramping. That looks to be Marco Dominguez. Dominguez down at the top of the area, getting his calf worked on by his teammate. Actually getting both calves worked on by his teammate. So we just passed the hour mark. We'll remind you that the USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter at USL. So Jay will have the goal kick. Might look to play it short, but Rochester probably pressuring that just enough, forcing them back, and now he'll send it long.
It's another USF keeper who's having a great season in San Antonio is Diego Restrepo. Having a great year.
Absolutely.
Speaking of goalkeepers.
Two of them in this room, right? Or in this booth here.
Oh, it's just a gamekeeper. You're the goalkeeper. That's all.
Oh.
But
you don't give yourself credit. You were quite not everyone has soccer bowl championships, as well as international experience and national team experience. So Dallas J has it, but as you pointed out, USF, his background.
Yep, same with Diego Restrepo, who plays in the USL.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a little stint with the Tampa Bay Rowdies. He's played overseas, and now seems like he's found a home with San Antonio. Doing a great job. And San Antonio's top of the league.
Unbeaten in the Western Conference.
Very, very good team.
Turnover here, Rochester. We might see a card here as Watson takes down the player Beresford as he was going through. And as the ref goes to his pocket, Watson get the first yellow card of this match. So Kenny Watson on it. Kenny Walker, excuse me. As Beresford is down. There's the tackle. That's pretty vicious. We saw Walker a little bit earlier with the frustration, obviously. That one was going to be there. That one, Rochester, as they went ahead and played it quickly after the card. But it was a bad ball across, and Cincinnati will come down with it. But as you pointed out, this game has really turned. I don't think Cincinnati or Rochester, Cincinnati's had possession in the Rochester half in the last 10 minutes or so.
Well, it's quality passing getting out of their own half. They haven't managed to get out of their own half for a while yet, Mike. And then when they do get out of their own half, then they're not able to keep possession for a very long period of time at all. So they've been under the gun, but it's only 17, 18 minutes into the second half. Like I said, things ebb and flow in soccer. All of a sudden, Cincinnati in the next 10 or 15 minutes could have total possession of the ball. But when you do, and you have opportunities, you need to take advantage of them.
And particularly on the road.
Yep, that's right. However, Rochester just had a great opportunity with Graff. I know that short hopped them, but that's what you need to be putting away as a forward.
Graff able to win that one. They'll send it wide to Bradley Camden-Feo. And an overlapping run. He'll cut inside. He's on the right foot. He'll shoot and a goal! Bradley Camden-Feo has given the Rhinos a 1-0 lead.
I'd like to see, that was a tremendous shot, but I'd like to see exactly what happened on that, Mike. It's tough to see at this distance, but to see exactly whether the ball was deflected or not. Looked like the ball was deflected. Looks like it got a deflection. The goalkeeper, Jay, was going, well, it went right into the corner. No deflection whatsoever.
As he cut it back, it went through maybe some bodies, at least traffic. But Bradley Camden-Feo seemed to target that corner, and he found it.
Well, that was a good substitution for Bob Lilly. Made a good substitution in the first half. Came back and got rewarded for by a goal in the 65th minute. That was a good strike to the bottom corner, far post.
Well, now Cincinnati, who, as you pointed out, has been controlled in play up to this point, the first of the second half in the 20 minutes. They're going to have to push forward a little bit, but they get a free kick here that might enable them to do so.
Well, this is what Bob Lilly was very, very cautious about, is all the free kicks. They have some big guys that can come up and head the ball, center halves, big, strong guys. And so, therefore, you know, they're really good, too, on set pieces, Cincinnati. They have to Rochester absolutely has to guard against, be really, really strong. I got to focus on my guy, focus on the ball.
Pollock will send it into the box. And that's headed in, and it's wide over the top. Looked like Gomez was coming out in some collisions. And the loose ball, Cincinnati looking to answer right away. Can't do it. It will be a goal kick. And very dangerous. Yeah, you talked about the
very dangerous. I think Gomez is trying to locate the soccer ball. There's a couple of them out there right now.
Well,
looks like there was offsides, right?
I don't know if offsides or a push or a shove. Maybe we just didn't see the whistle or hear the whistle. So no urgency for Rochester in defending it. But they do get the free kick, and now upfield, leading 1-0 as we're in the 67th minute, just past. Cincinnati with it, looking to go down the line. Koenig looking to cut inside, run off the ball defensively, and it will be a goal kick. Koenig had to play it up forward. Good job of recovery by the Rhinos.
Change the complexion of the game now, Mike. You know, a goal for Rochester. Now that's going to force Cincinnati to come out of more of a defensive position. They're going to have to try to equalize, which means that Rochester's maybe have some, if they can take advantage of some of the openings that Cincinnati, you know, gives them by going forward and throwing numbers up front.
Ball headed up. Chested down. Rhinos looking to go forward, and Cincinnati with the loose ball. Maybe a little bit of a head bump as they'll send it long up towards the top, run down towards the corner. And as that goes out about, remind fans that you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times. Here's the long throw into the box, although not that long, and headed up by Rochester. They'll come down with a loose ball. And now Bradley Candon-Fea will send it up the field. Headed back. Referee in the middle of that play. And now it's an opportunity as Rochester on the back. Onto the near post. Come down, a tackle away, and now cleared away by Pollock as DeFregger able to get the ball across, but Graff not able to get on the end of the run. Far side. Into the box. Now it's sent across the 6-yard box. It's going to be run down by Wiedemann. A dangerous chance for Cincinnati that just went across the face of the goal. Pollock to send it back in. Not a good ball. Rochester will clear it out.
Yeah, what makes it even more dangerous, Mike, is it's tough for them to see the goalkeeper. He's looking right into the sun. It's tough for him to get a good handle on it.
And it doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. Probably the rest of this one as it's even getting a little lower.
Yeah, let's hope the sun doesn't go away. Yeah, probably,
at least for the night.
We'll know about in 8 or 9 minutes if it does. It'll be getting very cold.
Here is the opportunity now for Cincinnati. An eerie feeling just came across me there at that point. Now here is McMahon. McMahon, his pass goes to Green. And now it's back to the feet of Gomez. Long ball.
There's 20 minutes left, Mike. So really at some point, Cincinnati coach is going to have to change, going to have to do something to change the complexion of this game. More than likely take a defender off or put an attack, or take a defender off or a defensive midfielder off, put an attacking midfielder or an extra forward on.
Now they might get a chance to get this one back as Wiedemann's into the box. He'll cut it back inside, run off the ball by Dover. Wiedemann went down a little easily. Maybe he had a step.
No foul.
Absolutely. He had a step. It looked like he probably could have gone around it and tried to earn the free thing, but it wasn't, certainly no foul. It's Dover stepped in front. That, though, will be a foul as Polak clips from behind. I believe that may be DeFregger. Actually, it's Beresford.
Polak, very, very solid player for Cincinnati. Like I said, comes from Creighton. Played 4 years there. Played a lot of games for Cincinnati last year.
Well, I'll get the 8 and 9 correct. That was DeFregger.
Not sure that they're going to win much if they just hoist it into the penalty area against Cincinnati's back four.
Misplay here as Gomez will send it back across the field. A little ambitious for the goalkeeper for Rochester. Mansoret able to push it down, but cleared away by Rochester. Sent back. Cincinnati might be set to make a couple of subs, but right now they'll see if they can get a goal without making those subs. Is the opportunity. Walker back in. That's collected by Gomez, and it could be the debut for their newest signing as well, Winston. I think we may see Josu in.
Yep, and Josu's a Barcelona Academy product, and we'll see how he does. He would be an attacking player.
So Cincinnati looking to switch it up here. 74th minute, trailing 1-0 to Rochester on a goal by Bradley Camden-Feo in the 65th minute. That one will go into the stands, and we could be set for multiple substitutions for both teams. Into the game for Cincinnati. Out will be Fordyce. In will be Justin Hoyt.
Hoyt's a defender from England. I believe he's an Arsenal product. Played some in the last game.
And Josu in for, I believe, Kenny Walker.
Kenny Walker a little bit quiet today for Cincinnati. See how Josu does.
So also 80 in for Rochester. Excuse me.
20.
20 in.
20 in, so he's basically he's brought in a defender, Preitzer. Lily's brought in a defender, and then I believe he's brought in 13 too, Gartsy.
So Michael Gartsy, and I believe Forbes came out. See who they changed the armband over for. Rochester. Is that one sent across? Polak is fouled. And soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. So here, for Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's put on 2 players that, are forward-looking players. So Josu and Hoyt.
Well, Josu with it now.
Yep, left-footed players going to give them a little bit more options. They want to get more players, put some pressure on Rochester's defense, which is a good, smart coaching move. So if they lose 2-0, it doesn't really make any difference. They're trying to get that equalizer.
Sent up the line. Josu can't get to it, but it will come back out to Polak. Dominguez. Wide out for Josu. Josu splits the defenders on the pass. Bad first touch there by Wiedemann. And it will be a goal kick.
I think as we talk about ebb and flow of the game, Rochester scored their goal. What they don't want to do is sit back and just allow Cincinnati to start coming at them, having the next 14, 15 minutes of the game, and see that Cincinnati coach has pulled off more, some defensive-minded, being less defensive-minded, more attacking-minded, which is a good, smart, strategic move. And he's going to put pressure on Rochester. But in putting pressure on them, that's going to give Rochester some opportunities. If they keep the ball, they should have some quality opportunities. Cincinnati's going to have to throw people forward, Mike, and that leaves them exposed in certain areas of the field.
Well, Hoyt's first touch is a header back, and it will be a corner kick for Rochester. By the way, Rochester with the 2 subs is done with subs. They did make one first half substitution. It ended up paying off, as it was Bradley Camden Feo who came in for Bukimi, albeit it was for an injury. But it is Camden Feo that represents the one. His right-footed strike is up on that scoreboard. It's a slip on this corner kick. It floats up in the air, headed down, and it's played out wide for Cincinnati. They'll take it out. Second ball now for Dover.
Great little nifty move by Dover.
Farrell, who is still up from the corner kick, can't defend it well enough to prohibit it from going out of bounds off of him, so a goal kick for Cincinnati. Cincinnati should still have a sub remaining, and we do have one ready to line up to come on. Ball played towards the corner off the side. Hoyt run to first. Now Rochester come out.
You can see they got Hoyt playing right up front on the right side. Give something more for Rochester to think about.
As Rochester plays it out, it will be a throw in for Cincinnati. Cincinnati set to make their substitution. I think as we see Mansoray coming off.
Stevenson on.
And it will be Stevenson on. So the 80th minute, 1-0, Rochester leading. As we pointed out, right now as the standings go, they'll move from 9th into a 5-way tie for 3rd with multiple games in hand. They and Louisville both with only 8 games played. Louisville a little bit later tonight. Continue that ball played towards the corner. Headed down towards the box and out off his line is Gomez to smother it before Kunick can get to it.
You know, Stevenson, he played at University of Akron for 4 years. And as a matter of fact, last year in 2016, he won Goal of the Month twice. So it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear to me that they're taking defensive players off and putting on attacking players, trying to shake it up a little bit.
Well, that ball is running through was Beresford. The tackle by Polak. And he got on the ball. There was no foul called on this. And as it goes out, it will be a corner kick.
Good job by Polak. Got the ball.
So Beresford, an out-swinging kick towards the back post. Headed back towards the 6 and now away. It's still free. Cincinnati able to clear it out on the break on the counter. Opportunity is Josu. Cuts inside. Josu will look to chip the keeper maybe, and it's into his chest. From about 40, he looked up, and it goes into the chest of Gomez.
Ambitious, but hey, it's worth a shot.
Never got at the height on it, but it was on target.
I think you really got to bring players in at that point. That's where you bring your other players, wait, have just a little bit of patience, and allow the guys to come and help you a little bit and start getting numbers. They put Hoyt on. They put Stevenson on. Josu, all attacking players.
Yeah, just to create.
And to create opportunities, that's what they're on for. That's what they're on there for.
And the USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting www.uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter @USL. As Gomez takes his time, a Richmond player is cramping up.
Graf.
It is Graf.
Forward.
And as we mentioned, no more subs available for either team.
Puts himself about up front, Mike. I mean, he puts closing players down, moving laterally. He's covering a lot of ground.
The hamstring, they're also working a little bit on the calf, but not something you want to see here as you're out of subs.
Yeah, it looks like he's cramping up. He's done a lot of hard work today, closing the back four of Cincinnati down.
Temperature in the upper 60s in Richmond.
Oh, you mean in Rochester?
In Rochester, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah. I say that
just
we saw the Richmond.
It just kind of drifted off there a little bit.
I'm going crazy. We are Rochester, of course, the Oak Street Brigade reminded me of that as well. I'm sure it's in the upper 60s in Richmond, too.
Probably is.
But no one cares about that because we're in Rochester.
It's like a nasty, nasty sun right in the goalkeeper's eyes.
Yeah, it really is.
That's definitely helping Cincinnati. They can get that ball across there. To
that point of Josu, maybe trying to chip him, too. That was right about that same angle, so maybe he thought, hey, sun behind him, too.
Certainly. I don't know if you put that much thought into it, Mike, but I tell you what, getting the ball from wide positions into the box with that many attacking players is going to cause some havoc.
Through ball here, Cincinnati. Gomez, and well defended as they shielded Koenig from making that run in on their goalkeeper.
You expect your goalkeeper to come out and control the penalty area like Gomez did. Good job. Just don't want to be kicking it out of bounds like that.
Cincinnati needing some urgency here as they still trail 1-0, 85th minute. Sent back across, looking for Hoyt. Hoyt challenges in, heads it down towards the corner. Wiedemann, can he keep it inbounds? No, Rochester will run it down first. Now he'll send it up the field and into the bench of Rochester. Poor clearance.
This is where Rochester wants to keep the ball. They want to keep the ball in Cincinnati's half. And right now that's not happening. Cincinnati's beginning to apply some more pressure.
That goes back into the...
A little bit of panic stations from Rochester's point of view. You want to keep the ball. Just be a little bit patient. Take the air out of it. They've done so well to get to this point.
Here's Josu cutting back inside. All the way across, parallel with it, just to see if the defense can drive out on it. Now Hoyt Back. Chipped up, headed into the box. Offside as the flag comes up. Koenig may have been about half a step on that far side off the header.
Excellent goalkeeping by Gomez. Came out and spread himself, Mike. Wasn't sure if he was offsides or not.
They'll send it up the field. Cincinnati reads that.
Trying to unlock that Rochester defense. You're not going to do that by passing the ball over the end line like that, that's for sure. With no pressure whatsoever.
Now Polak on the misplay allows Rochester to kill about 30 seconds before they take this throw. Dover looking forward for Beresford. A shove by the new captain for Rochester. I believe that's Farrell.
Good tackle. That's not what you want to be doing if you're Cincinnati. Be patient in keeping that ball. They have plenty of guys that can score goals on the field now, that's for sure. You want to take advantage of that opportunity with some patience and not forcing the ball.
Throw-in will go Cincinnati's way. Quickly and Nicholson is up. We'll have it go off him. Ball will go Rochester's way. And as the fans are starting to feel a little more vocal from the Oak Street Brigade, seeing their team with a 1-0 lead, 88th minute coming to a conclusion, or at least the 87th minute coming to a conclusion. Polak, who shifted inside, they'll move Josu as they'll start to press forward a little bit. Headed out will be possession by Hoyt, looking to go in quickly. He does. And that one on a chance as he's falling to the ground, he puts it over the target. Looked like he may have been shoved a little bit. It was Wiedemann. But he got off a strong opportunity from that.
It was really hard to see at that angle from here, Mike, but it looks like he just, he nipped it over the bar. Wasn't gilt edged, that's for sure. It was a half chance in my opinion.
I didn't think he had a chance to get anything on target, but that one's strong off his leg, at least. As it is, ball's free. That will be off of Rochester, and it is actually Garzi who's wearing the armband now as he came on for Forbes.
You want to be really cautious with giving away fouls right now. I know Coach Lilly's talked about that from Rochester. They're very dangerous with free kicks. Cincinnati is.
Well, that one's free now, and it's still here's Cincinnati looking to go forward.
How many times in a game if team gets a free kick the last few minutes, Mike, just lob the ball in and put it in the mixer, takes a deflection, somebody scores it, and holy smokes, I mean, that was a bad foul. We never should have given it away. That happens quite a bit.
Well, as we hit the 90th minute, we're told there will be 3 minutes of stoppage time. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Cincinnati, desperation as they still trail, have been shut out to this point, 1-0. Rochester leads, now sent up the field, still in bounds. And a misplay, and running onto it is Groff. Groff is jerked down by Halfhill And will Halfhill get the caution off this? It will be a yellow card to Garrett Halfhill. So a misplay by Halfhill will allow another 30 to 45 seconds to run off the clock here.
I would think that Rochester, I think that they really want to play the ball in the corner.
Arm around the hip, hooked him down.
They really just want to keep the ball here. Just want to knock it in the corner right now. Paul has done such a wonderful job in the midfield. They've done so well defensively tonight. They just want to keep the ball. Just knock it in the corner and keep it. Don't give it away cheaply.
Looking long. Rochester again with it, playing up the field, and it will go Cincinnati's way. Polak. The chance now is there's Josu. Josu. Cross is blocked. Good hustle there and run down by Dover. Dover still trying to go towards the corner. Josu, we'll see it go off of him, and it will be a throw in. That was Josu expressing some words, but
great work by great work by Dover there.
I don't think the words Josu is saying is you're absolutely right, but the linesman was absolutely right.
Good job by Dover, young Canadian player. A lot of hustle went down that line. A lot of hustle, kept after it. Got a throw in out of it. Now they have now it's you're putting Cincinnati has to go 110 yards to score.
And we'll have it in here towards the corner. Up the field. Now that's over the line. We'll see. Final 30 seconds apparently as that long ball was. Cincinnati trying to throw bodies forward.
You just got to get it in the mixer right now. It's not flash. It's not easy. Just get the ball in the mixer. Get bodies in there. Put the ball in the penalty area.
One final chance apparently. 10 seconds. Hoyt will leave it. It'll be Dominguez on the throw. Dominguez slips up as it's headed back, and now it's free. Left foot shot deflected. Will the corner kick be allowed to be taken? I'm sure it will.
This is what they specialize in, Cincinnati. You got to be really tight.
Waiting on the ball, boys.
Watch the second ball. It's not the first ball. Guy flicks it. It's the second ball. Always, it's the dangerous ball, Mike. Always.
Josu on the corner. Josu near post, headed away, and as that ball does not clear the front man, it is over. Rochester comes away 1-0 winners tonight. It was a great second half goal by Bradley Camden Feo, and that will give them the 3 points. And I know on the postgame when we look at that, we'll see those updated standings. Rochester going to shoot up a little bit, quite a bit, as they get a 1-0 victory against FC Cincinnati. Postgame coming up next.
Hey you, yes you. Do you have trouble sitting in that chair?
Are you uncomfortable when you sleep?
When was the last time you truly relaxed?
At Integrated Massage Therapy, we have over 40 years experience.
We offer deep tissue, relaxation, and hot stone.
We can reduce your stress, pain, headaches, and increase your flexibility.
We have 2 convenient locations in Hilton and Irondequoit.
We work with fibromyalgia, post-surgical, athletes, everyone from young and old. Please see our website below.
We are your official massage therapists of the Rochester Rhinos.
Go Rhinos!
I may be down, but I'm not out. I may be hurt, but I'm not through. I'm just writing a better story than I planned.
Share your comeback story. Visit urmedicine.org.
Welcome to the next generation at Ralph Honda.
A beautiful new showroom, a new state-of-the-art service department, and the same great service we're famous for.
We invite you to come in and visit our new next generation dealership. Come on, treat yourself to Ralph.
When I sprained my left knee, they did so much to help me at
Lattimore Physical Therapy.
With 20 locations throughout Monroe and Livingston County, pain relief is never more than minutes away. Same-day appointments available. Most insurance accepted. Call 1-888-PT-ROCHS.
Lattimore Physical Therapy.
And welcome back to Capelli Sports Stadium, where the Rochester Rhinos, on a Bradley Camden Feo goal, beat FC Cincinnati 1-0. Let's take a look at how we got to that score. Early on, Cincinnati maybe had a couple of chances, never really able to get a lot on it, but this may have been their biggest chance here early on.
Yeah, it was the guy cut inside, but the defender took care of that, took all the steam out of the ball.
The offside call, again, Jay, rather fortunate, but it was offside, and Rochester denied the early goal. You can see the run going in by...
Kind of an embarrassing moment for the goalkeeper. Totally took his eye off the ball, went between his legs. Lucky he didn't get punished.
Guinea off his line, not able to clear it out. Whiffed on it, but away from the net.
If you come that far out, you got to clear it, no doubt.
Into the second half. Dover across, and the deflection, that one off the post.
Yep, got a little bit of luck there. The post was his friend, that's for sure.
Turnovers in their own half, and that's almost right there. Cincinnati almost made him pay.
I think that was the one time in the first half that, or the second half that Cincinnati put a ball on frame.
This is the opportunity. Good work there by Graff, and this is right here. That ball came out.
Great work by Graff. Kept the ball in play.
There's the shot and the goal. As Camden Feo able to find it. It was a cut back inside. It went through a lot of traffic, but
buried it.
Absolutely. Targeted out, maybe even hit the inside of the post. So good look here now as the celebration is final stats. We saw how low those numbers were, but really Rochester took control in the second half and were really rewarded with the victory.
Yeah, I mean, there's to me, you look at shots, really there was one great shot by Rochester, scored the goal. Also, neither goalkeeper was really under pressure. 46-50, Cincinnati had more possession. However, they didn't create some quality opportunities. What we were concerned about was Rochester was concerned about getting Cincinnati getting around the back of them, and they didn't do that enough. Didn't put Gomez under enough pressure.
Let's see the Key Bank save of the match here. And like you said, neither goalkeeper really tested by that much, and this may have been it here. That was the opportunity we saw there in those highlights, and not much you could do from that.
No, he did a good job. Got his hands behind the ball, but you expect him to make that save.
And of course, the Excellus moment of the match here, and when a 1-0 game, it helps that it's an outstanding shot.
Yep, he did a great job. Great job. Went through some traffic, as you said, Mike. Went right into the far corner, though. Not a lot Jay could do about it.
Well, the fans are happy as the Rochester Rhinos thanking the fans and everyone making their way through, as it was Bradley Camden Feo who had the outstanding goal. So for everyone here up in Rochester and for Winston DuBose, I'm Mike Pepper, and of course it is the Rochester Rhinos. Big winners here tonight, and they've made their way up the standings as they knock off FC Cincinnati, and of course the Brigade enjoyed it, as does anyone who wears the green. Everyone have a good night, everyone.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.